The politics of fear continues. Stephen Harper's latest example of trying to scare the country into voting a conservative majority was to say that only a conservative majority in Ottawa could stop the province of Quebec from separating. In fact, the very opposite is true. Stephen Harper's politics, particularly his social politics, run counter to the traditional political culture in Quebec. That political culture in Quebec is traditionally left of center. It believes in strong unions. It believes in strong secular and civil organizations. And it believes that the state should support the arts and culture. The very opposite of all that Stephen Harper believes in. Stephen Harper's prairie politics of radical religious born-again fundamentalism, in which the state should wither away and the poor, if they're hungry, should find themselves at church, and that the state should militarily intervene and drop bombs on the heads of third world people. Those attitudes, the traditional right-wing, hard right-wing conservative attitudes, those don't play well in Quebec. In 2 years' time, Quebec will have an election. Pauline Marois of the Parti Québécois is very likely to be elected, and she will have an easier time convincing Quebecers to separate and to bring about sovereignty association if it's been 2 years of hard-right conservative politics under a majority Stephen Harper government. Under a Stephen Harper majority government, CBC, Radio Canada will be targeted, possibly substantial parts of it will be privatized, unions will come under attack, civil societies espousing centrist or leftist views, which are traditionally civil societies in Canada, those will be gutted through funding rearrangements and cutbacks. That money will go instead to fund conservative groups and to evangelical churches. Canada's human rights promotion activities abroad will be restricted to a narrow set of rights in line with the conservative worldview. For example, the promotion of religious freedoms, meaning that missionaries can come in and try to change people's minds. Stephen Harper loves a good missionary. That will take precedence over things, traditional Canadian values like women's rights, for example. We're already seeing that in the effort to defund Planned Parenthood, something that somebody who despises abortion like Stephen Harper and his born-again henchmen have tried to do. And of course our foreign policy will become far more militaristic. Now, whatever you think about that attitude and that stratagem, make no mistake that the average Quebecer despises such social policies. And the idea that those social policies practiced by a conservative majority under Stephen Harper, who will not be compromising, who will not be consensus building, who will in fact be dictating from the far right, in his born-again Christian bastion of good versus evil, the average Quebecer will not like that, and the average Quebecer will be easier to convince to leave a Canada that is dominated by that sort of social culture. It's beyond doubt that that's the case.